Hi, it's time once again to take a look at what I colored for the month of March 2019. But first I'll start off with a few things I purchased through the month. Starting with these, what do you call, multicolored pencils from Crazy Art. I got these at Five Below. I played around with them a little bit just to test them. They are a bit of a challenge, you know, if you want to get different colors as you're coloring along. You've got to constantly turn the pencil and work in one direction. And I think I'm going to try them out in my Deborah Muller book and see how they work in actual coloring. I was just testing them out on paper. And there's a set of 5. I got this pencil sharpener at Bull Moose. It's a local retailer, and you can adjust you know, you've got the middle one for bigger pencils, such as these. It's okay. It works half the time, and then half the time it'll just take the end of the lead off. And I found the same with this one. This one I got at Michael's. It's an actual Prismacolor sharpener, and I had to go online to find out how to get the shavings out. I had a heck of a time getting the top off it at first. This one sharpens just like the other one. It works half the time and you get a nice sharp point, and other times it'll take the top part of the lead off. I don't know, it's weird. And it's brand new. And you've got your different settings for your longer point and your more blunt sharp end. I like it when it works. And this set of 20 gel pens right here came in this case. It was, I also got this at Michael's. And the case itself, oh, yeah, hang on a second. There we go. The zippers, there we go. It was open like this, and I had it had the gel pens already in it. What I decided to do was take the gel pens out and use it as a pencil case, and this one houses my open stock Prismacolor Premiers. It holds about 60 or so. The pencils fit very loose, so I have to be careful when I use it. I have to make sure it sits flat like that and I don't tilt it like that, because some of the pencils come out of the slots. And there's a swatch I made of the gel pens. Some are glitter, some are more metallic. And this was the big purchase. Cezanne colored pencils, 72 set. I also have a review of these on my channel. And this is a swatch I made of them. They don't have color names on them yet, but future ones will have. I got a set that didn't put them on. but that's all right. I've been using them enough to get used to them now, and I really like them. They color very soft and smooth, and I've been developing some pain right around the right here around my thumb area where I'm gripping so tight, and I don't have that issue with these pencils. They're great, and I hope that they sell open stock of these in the future. This is what they look like. I've had no sharpening issues with these at all. And I put a number on each pencil for easy reference. So if you want more info on these, just check out my review on my channel. There we go. Now it's time to take a look at what I colored for the month, starting with one from Deborah Muller's Magical Fairies. Now, I did this one in memory of Leslie at Orion's Girl 93 on YouTube. We got the sad news that she passed away in January, and I'd wondered why I hadn't seen any recent videos of her, and then a fellow YouTuber mentioned that on one of the Facebook groups, and I was very sorry to hear that, because she, within any book that she reviewed, she showed such enthusiasm and love for coloring, and I always look forward to her videos, so it's a sad loss. And I colored this in her memory because this was one of the books that she enabled me to buy. I saw a review of it, and I fell in love with this book, and I told her, I said, thanks for the review, I've got to get this book now. So yeah, I used the Cezanne colored pencils and Crayola Super Tips mostly, and some watercolor on the background. Next, I did one in A Court of Thorns and Roses. This was a buddy color with Tasia over at Fran's Kaleidoscope. She said, when are we going to do that color along or that buddy color in that book? And I said, anytime you want. She said, you pick out the picture. I said, okay. So I picked one that I know she'd enjoy coloring because it's got, you know, interior design, which I know she likes to color. And I like coloring people, so it was the best of both worlds. And her page came out fantastic. She used, I think it was Neo 2s and maybe some Inktense, and then shaded with pencil. I use mostly pencil, but I did use some watercolor, Crayola on the floor, and on the bedspread here, and the curtains, and then I shaded with pencil. And I used Prismacolor Premier and Cezanne colored pencils. I also got a new book in March. I found this at Michael's when I was shopping there a few weeks ago. This is Ornamental Fashions by Mingju Sun, and I colored two in here. The very first page. There we go. I used Tan gel pens and Prismacolor Premier on her dress. Her skin was Prismacolor, as was her hair. And the background, I used yellow Sharpie, and these designs here, I used a stencil and made the designs and colored those with gold metallic. And the last page, I did this pretty much the same thing. Her dress was done with Arteza and Tan gel pens. Her skin was done with, I think, Arteza as well as her hair. And the background was done with Crayola crayon, sea green. And then I took the stencil and made these designs and used silver metallic. I did one in African Fashions by Diana Murray. And she represents Morocco. And I used mostly markers, Crayola Super Tips, and Sharpies. The exception was the shading on her skin and her veil. That was done with the Cezanne colored pencils and a silver metallic Prismacolor. And her jewelry was done with Tan gel pens. I did one by Jade Summer, and this was for a March color along, two actually. One was, and that was for Gizmo Kids on Instagram, and Color Chats and Cats with Michelle co-hosted it, and that was Mandela Mania 2019. And on this one, I used my Cezanne colored pencils for the floral designs, and the rest was done with Sharpies. Speaking of Jade Summer, I also did one in Greek mythology. This is Hephaestus, the god of metalworking and fire, husband to Aphrodite. And there he is working hard to create what looks like a lightning bolt. I did that with gold metallic marker and some gold metallic gel pen, and the rest was done mostly with Crayola Super Tips. His skin was done with Art and Fly markers. His clothing was the Cezanne colored pencils, and you see a lot of metallic marker in there and gel pen on the pillars. And I created the smoke from the fire with the white Prismacolor Premier. And finally, I did one from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. This one was also done with Cezanne colored pencils. And the background, I used Arteza watercolors. And then I went over a lot of it with pencil to fill in some of the more rough spots. And while I've got the book out, I'll show you a work in progress. There we go. I got this section done, and I've started this section here. I was inspired to do this page watching Coloring Cave. She did a very similar background on hers using Crayola pencils. I said, well, I'm not going to use the Crayolas. I'm going to use the Cezanne, and that's what I've been working on this page. So that's it. That's what I've colored for the month of March 2019. Thanks for watching.